The very basis of libertarianism is the non-aggression principle, but which essentially is the same thing as our social rules for dealing with each other in private life: no force, no theft, no fraud, and keep your hands to yourself. And we apply that same moral law to government. And so, some libertarians are anarcho-capitalists, some are so-called minarchists, meaning we want the absolute minimum amount of government, a night watchman type state. In other words, just enough to enforce contracts and protect property rights and allow freedom and a free market to work. There's also, of course, natural rights theory, Austrian school economics, and a lot of revisionist history. Um, and uh, and something very key to libertarian theory is expressed by Murray Rothbard, was that war is the key to the whole libertarian business. Because especially in the United States of America, as long as we maintain a world empire, makes it impossible for us to have a limited and decentralized government here at home, as our Constitution describes. And so I was going to crack a joke, but neither of you have called me an isolationist yet. But I was going to joke that, yes, as Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Isolation, the same guy, the principal author of the Declaration of Isolation, he said in his first inaugural address, "We seek peace, commerce, and honest friendship with all nations, and entangling alliances with none." And that's the true libertarian philosophy. Think Dr. Ron Paul, the great congressman for many years up there. He was opposed to all sanctions, all economic war on the rest of the world, and the entire state of the United States as world empire. And what's strange now is that anyone who wants just peace as the standard is considered an isolationist, and people who are for world empire and a permanent state of conflict with the rest of the world, economic war, coups and regime changes, and even invasions, those are considered normal people. It's almost like people who want peace should be called cis foreign policy, because now we have to come up with a funny word to describe a normal state of being. When no one calls Mexico an isolationist state just because they mind their own business. And is there any faction anywhere in America that calls themselves isolationist? Even the paleo conservatives, who favor much more like trade protectionism and that kind of thing than libertarians, they don't call themselves isolationists. They still want to have an open relationship with the world to some degree. When isolation means like the hermit kingdom of North Korea or some crazy thing like that. No one wants that for the United States of America. What we want is independence, non-interventionism, and peace.
So to you, isolationism is a kind of dirty word.
That's right. It's a smear term.
It's a smear term.
Invented by interventionists and internationalists to attack anyone who didn't want to go along with their agenda. The term itself is used essentially as a smear against anyone who doesn't want to go to war.